Hello, everybody. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday, everybody. Please hit that like button. Okay. How is everyone doing? So sorry, I'm 5 minutes late. Yeah, I was just so like I just had a few bits that I had to quickly finish off, but we're here now. Thanks everyone for joining in. I'm just going to give everybody a little bit of time to come in. Please hit that like button, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Please share the live if you can. Thank you, everybody. We are going to be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. A lot happened. I have a lot to say about Kimmi and Maurice. I have a whole lot to say about Kimmi and Maurice. It's very, very disheartening just seeing the way Kimmi and Maurice, the way, the way, the way Maurice is dealing with Kimmi. And I know like Kimmi is not perfect and Kimmi has done a lot of things to a lot of people. Um, but I don't think that any woman deserves to be treated that way by their husband. And so I'm disgusted by the way that Maurice has been. And it's just so sad, honestly, to watch. I don't know about y'all, but every time I see those scenes, like I know I'll probably play a clip for us at some point because I just think it may be good to also do like a play-by-play bit of that interaction that they did have. But I just think that it's so sad to get to the point where your man feels like he can speak to you like that, and your man feels like all you're good for is some sex. Nah, 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 nah. Okay, first of all, I probably shouldn't be saying that on YouTube, but your man should never be seeing you as just that. Like, and I know that you may feel like I know Kimmi said that, oh, it wasn't like that at the start, but then there must have been some signs. There must have been some signs somewhere. There has to have been something somewhere that made it clear that this is who this man is. This man has showed you in all types of ways at this point, in my opinion. So we are going to talk about Maurice as well. I do want to talk about other things outside of Kimmi and Maurice actually throughout the show because I feel like there was still some bits that I thought was kind of interesting that happened. Now, I don't know if you guys picked up something. So, first of all, let me just ask y'all, what do you guys think in terms of the episode? If you guys watched the episode, what would you rate the episode? Let me know in the chat what you'd rate the episode. I personally thought that this was a decent-ish episode. I think we know what we're dealing with in the sense that this, at the end of the day, is this is the show, right? This is Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's never gonna be as great as it was before. But one thing we do know is that the show is dying up and the show is going its own way. Let's just say that, right? Um, and I just think that Kimmi, yeah, I just think Kimmi is definitely stronger than most of us. I will say that. Destiny girl, everyone is laughing at you. Everyone is making jokes about you. This is why you can't be dating the same kind of people in the same circle. We're going to talk about that. I do want to touch on Destiny and Tisha as well because I feel like there's just so much to talk about in all of that. But all I ask you guys to do is please hit the like button. I know this is my first proper live since I've been back. This is my first live since I've been back. So, thank you so much for joining today because I know I haven't done a live in a hot minute. So I thank you guys for actually some of y'all for still joining in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. And yes, we're going to go back to our scheduled lives because I'm feeling really good now. I'm starting to feel better. And so I feel like I'm in a better place to do more lives. So expect more lives this week. We're probably going to get like maybe 3 to 4 lives at least of me being here talking to you guys. As long as my health continues to improve, yeah, that would happen this week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. Hey, Bajan B. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for joining. We're back. So Bajan says it was draining. So for those who have just joined in, because I know a few people joined in, we are talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Please hit that like button. And first of all, let me know what your first impressions were of the episode. Was it good? Did you like it? What did you think it was? Bajan is telling us it was draining for her, and I don't disagree. It was definitely a very draining episode, especially with the Maurice of it all. Someone says sad. Yep, I definitely agree. It was definitely all that and more. Hello, user. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. We're about to get into the Love and Marriage Huntsville, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. All right, let's go. So, the first thing that I want to talk about, or first person I want to talk about today is Marceau. Because Marceau made me laugh in this episode. And I don't know if you all picked up on it. But Marceau said something that made me laugh this episode. He literally, when he was doing the whole rap thing with Tisha in the first scene, he was talking about contrary to popular opinion, she doesn't smoke crack. And I'm like, girl, not an indirect to Miss Wanda when he was doing his rap. I'm like, Marceau uses the opportunity every time he gets to whack Wanda with something that he says. He even said, sometimes you got to be still and let the devil fight your battles. I'm like, bro, that's your mother-in-law, sir. You have a mouth on you. But yeah, that definitely got me sort of laughing a little bit. I feel like Marceau kind of brings a little bit of jokes, and which I feel like Huntsville can be so like serious. And I think here and there it's nice to have a little bit of comic relief, which I think the show is desperately needing. So yes, I would say Marceau made me laugh. So shout out to Marceau on that one. Now, Destiny Girl, it's not looking good for y'all. Destiny, it's not looking good for you. Everyone is making jokes about you, girl. This is why you can't date too many people in the same circle. Have some self respect. Find a different group of people to date. Don't be dating people in the same circle. It's not good because you end up in situations like this when everyone literally feels like they can make jokes about you, who you are, and what type of girl you are, and who you're coming in with. And then Will is like, "Oh, why are you all asking me about Destiny?" And it's just like, then he's alluding to, oh, maybe there's a group chat and he will reach out in the group chat to see who Destiny is coming with. I'm like, Destiny girl, you put yourself in this mess. And this is why I think, as a rule of thumb, don't be out here running through the circle of people. Find a new circle of people. You don't have to date the same people. Find new people to date. It doesn't, I know Huntsville may be small, but I am sure you can find people in Atlanta. You can find people in other places. Does it have to be Huntsville? Does it have to be Huntsville, sis? And so I just think she needs to explore something else. Explore something else. Move around a little bit. User says, please don't ever date the hired help, aka the colleagues. Absolutely. Do not date people that you work with. It's going to get messy. Although I know some people say, oh, they met their husband at work. I'm like, good for you. I don't think I meet my husband at work because I am way too focused on work when I'm at work. I just feel like it's a little bit way too awkward, way too close to home. If it doesn't work out, now you have to be in the same establishment. Look at the divorce between Mel and Martell. part of it is they are also working in the same space. It was very difficult when the separation happened, when the divorce happened, to continue to stay in the same space. And then add that with the sort of person that Martell is, and it automatically is on 20. And so if you think about it in that way, like it's just so, so sad. Like, girl, stop dating around, move around, find a different circle to explore. It doesn't have to be little old Huntsville, all of the people on the show. Please find new people. Bajan says Dusty wants to stay relevant. Yep, but it's like, of all the ways to stay relevant, honey, figure out a new way to stay relevant. Find it. Find a different way. Think about a different thing. Think about a different storyline, honey. I don't know if you all saw the trailer. It looks like she brought her mama on the show. So I guess we're going to be getting a new storyline from her next season for a change. But yeah, it's definitely given she is trying to stay relevant on the show. Because remember, the people were holding her accountable for not sharing about her life and being very secretive. So I guess now she feels like she has to stop being secretive. Now she actually has to show up because she needs the check. And I'm not going to knock your hustle, girl. Like, this is work. But at the same time, think about a different storyline that does not involve you looking like a pass around. Did you all see when the guys were all dancing with her? She was dancing with Twan, and then the next thing, Will comes to dance behind her. It's like, what are we doing? It's not giving what you all think it's giving. Destiny. It's not looking good. So hopefully next season we don't have to deal with you dating anymore. You can date whoever you want to date privately. We do not want to see it on the show unless it's a completely different person that ain't in the Love and Huntsville space. That would be nice for a change. Okay. Did you all also notice? Now, this is a side point, but did you all notice that nobody is mentioning Martell in these episodes? Martell was barely mentioned. Like, it's almost like this last episodes that we have seen, we did not see no Martell in it. It's given that Martell is being phased out of the show, which is very, very interesting. I think if Martell is going to stay on the show, he would need to get some storylines because he's barely on the show now. And I know people are like, oh yeah, Mel. So I know you have like some people that were like, oh well, if Mel leaves, that's it, whatever. You know, Mel has left. See, Martell ain't got no storyline without Mel, baby. You know, the people that were screaming, oh yeah, let's Mel go, we don't care. See the kind of show that we're having to deal with. This is what is left for us to deal with. We're dealing with escapades. We're dealing with immaturity. We're dealing with the likes of Tisha. No accountability, Tisha. That's what we're stuck with. But I just thought it was very interesting that Martell was not mentioned at all. I think it's definitely given that Martell, honey, nobody is mentioning you, is really giving that it's given that nobody wants to be filming with you. I think the only people that are probably filming with him is probably them Fletcher are probably filming like actively with him. The rest, the Scots, are not filming with him, which also shows the pull that the Scots have because it is, excuse me, because it is two of them. So that's four people automatically. If you're able to, if you're not filming with all four of them, any of those four, then you're limited with the amount of people that you can film with. I don't see him really filming with Trish or with Ken because they don't really have any personality. They don't have enough of a personality to make it interesting anyway. So it's not going to make the cut. So if you think about it like that, it's definitely giving like how many checks would Martell have gotten this month or this year from or this past couple of months from the show? Probably not a lot. Because unless I'm mistaken, I have not seen him in a lot of these episodes. Bashan B says, can't lie, Papa looks good at the theme party. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't think I can ever think he looks good, but you're probably right, to be fair. Compared to the way the others dressed, he was probably the best dressed. I was not impressed with the outfits. I was not impressed with the outfits. Had me thinking maybe I need to go back and research about the 80s, but I was just like, nope. I was not impressed with the outfits. No, thank you. Okay. I did also want to talk about Destiny and Tisha. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's definitely given that something is brewing between Destiny and Tisha. And I wish that Destiny would just stand up and stop. Like, yes, she responded to Tisha, but I think she should have really called out Tisha properly. My thing is, Tisha, it's very immature for someone to have a conversation with you, for you to move on from that conversation. Then you're talking about them in front of them to your mother. It's like, what are we doing? Then she starts going off on a tangent talking about loyalty. And I'm like, Tisha, this was addressed at the party. I think Tisha has an inability to move on from conversations. She's unable to move on even when you apologize or even when you're like, okay, this ain't what it was. She is unable to move on. So that's why everything keeps getting replayed over and over and over again. You and Destiny already had the conversation. You already talked about her changing cars. We all thought that was the end of it, but no. Tisha had to bring it back again. And this is why it's just like, it's so frustrating. Like, I cannot imagine being friends with somebody like Tisha. To me, that would be so exhausting. We have already talked about it, we have squashed it, we have moved on, and now you are taking it back again to say the same thing again. It's so frustrating. And so I don't know how she does it, but I guess they have been friends for a minute now, but the cracks are now starting to show. The cracks are now starting to show. I definitely think that it's only a matter of time before it bubbles to the surface and before they go at each other. It's only a matter of time. There's nothing anyone can tell me that would not make me feel like it's only a matter of time before Destiny and Tisha go at each other. Sorry, I need to drink water real quick. 1 second, guys. There is nothing that would make me feel like they're not going to eventually get at each other at some point. That's what it was given. Bajan B says 80s in the UK was new romantics. Oh. Bajan B says thick tongued childish. How's she gonna look at Dusty and say basically pick a side, like grow up? Absolutely. And it's like, girl, we already had this conversation. Why are we having it again? That would really frustrate and stress me out. Because I'm thinking, like, why are we having this conversation yet again? What is this? Why are we doing it again? That's how I would feel personally. Like, what is this about? Why are we having this conversation again? I just don't get it. And so I think ultimately, I feel like Destiny needs to check her properly. I noticed that I feel like Destiny is really trying to keep the peace, but you cannot keep the peace at the expense of somebody feeling like they can say whatever and talk about you and do whatever they feel like doing and it's going to be cool. It shouldn't be so. That is not okay. Kimmi was almost in Rasputia's tonsils. I know, she was so close. I'm like, girl, why are you so close to the woman? Like, what is going on? Have you missed her that much? Because that's what it was given. It was like, you want to get inside her? Like, what is going on? I guess maybe they're really close friends now. Who knows? But Dusty needs to keep that energy at thick tongue that she had for Melody. Absolutely. I am completely 110%. It's like focus that energy on who needs it. And this is the thing, it's like some of these people, the person, and this is how you know it was jealousy when it comes to Mel, because the people that should have been getting clocked in all these episodes are not getting clocked. It's like Tisha over there asking for blind loyalty. At your big age, you want blind loyalty. You want people to be like, out here, be like, no, I ride for Tisha, and that's it. Even though Tisha is immature, constantly stirring the pot, throwing, throwing the brick and hiding her hands. When is enough going to be enough? User says T never hold that husband accountable for his issues. Yep. Never, ever. Never. It's like Tisha doesn't hold her husband accountable, but she holds everyone else accountable. It's like the energy that you probably need to give to Marceau, you don't give it to Marceau. How is Marceau able to say in your face at the confessionals to refer, basically indirectly refer to your mother as a devil, and you didn't even pick that up? If I was there and somebody said, oh, so you've got to be still and let the devil fight your battles, I would have been like, please don't refer to my mom in that way. But that completely went over her head. I honestly don't think she even has the range to have conversations with Marceau. I don't think she has the range. Because how you let somebody indirectly call your mama a devil? And you missed that. And you didn't say ish. You were just there quiet, just there chilling. Like how that went completely over her head is funny to me. But when it comes to the girls, you want to clock the girls, you want to be in the girls' business, you want to make it seem like, oh, the girls don't like you or Nell has issues with you. It's like, baby, it's way more than that. Way more than that. You are always dishing it as well. So you're not innocent in this mix. But yeah, absolutely bizarre. But yeah, I agree with you, user. She doesn't hold her husband accountable for the issues. I also think that people also, in my opinion, don't hold her accountable enough. I feel like they let her get away without accountability. For me, there's no way you would be moving in the way in which you're moving. Even in the conversation between her and Nell after she brought her mama to fight her battles, even in that conversation, you could see that she still wasn't taking accountability. She didn't apologize for nothing. Kimmi had a whole apology. Not Kimmi. Nell had a whole apology. She didn't. It's like, what are we doing? Absolutely bizarre to me. Hey everyone, for those who have just come in, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Um Also, yes, we are talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, so feel free to let us know what you guys think. If you've watched the episode, what do you think of the episode? Put it in the chat. And yeah, let's get into that. Okay. So let me check my notes. All right, let's talk about Nell and Wanda. And then we will talk about why you guys came, which is probably Maurice. Because yeah, Maurice is a problem. But we'll talk about that in a second. I'm not ignoring you guys' comments because I saw some comments earlier about Maurice. Yes, we will talk about it. I'm just saving those comments to bring them up afterwards. So once we get into the Maurice and conversation of it all, yes, I will read those comments. All right, Nell and Wanda. What did you guys think about Nell and Wanda going at it? I personally think Nell's comments, now that I've watched the full thing, Nell's comment about the dang daughter thing, I think that's probably where it went left. Although, because it's Wanda, I can't say that I'll be surprised that it would have gone left anyway. I think if it wasn't that comment, it would have gone left anyway. Let's be clear. Wanda was there for one purpose, to check Nell. That much is clear because Tisha had said that even when she was talking to Marceau. Tisha had said that in confessionals. So it is obvious that she was brought on the show for a mission, and that mission was to check Nell. So even if Nell didn't say that, your dang daughter and Nell said a different thing, there would have still been friction, because it looks like that was the point of her coming onto the show. Now, I do appreciate that when they did have a conversation, it kind of looked a little bit like it wasn't meant to fully go there at first, because it felt like Wanda was actually low key on the side of like, okay, guys, like when let the beef of the men not like spill over to the women. But once Nell said the dang daughter comment, I think that was the end of it. And that was just a trigger for Wanda. And it all just went left. That said, Wanda was wrong. There is no way you will deem it appropriate to bring up someone's mother that has passed away in that manner. If anything, I would say Nell has a lot of self control, because I can't imagine someone saying that about anybody that I know and they wouldn't stand up and want to throw hands. I just don't know. I just don't know nobody that will even be as calm. Don't get me wrong, Nell did say stuff back, but Nell was pretty calm about it. As she was calm about it. She was way calmer than I would have expected if someone talked about my mother. Let's be clear. Right? So I feel like Nell definitely was a lot calmer than most would have. A lot calmer. Imagine, it's one thing to talk about someone's living mama, but to talk about someone that has passed away, that is resting in that manner, and bringing her into some petty conversation about nonsense, I think Nell took it very, very well. But I'll let you guys decide in the chat. Do you guys think Nell took it well? Because I personally think Nell took it well. Let me put a poll up and see what y'all think. Not me saying Wandy, Wanda. Guys, I am putting a poll up. So I just put a poll up. I want to see what you guys think. Like, vote in the poll, please, so I know. Do you think... So initially I said Wandy, and now I put Wand. What is going on with me? So guys, I mean, I've put a poll in the chat about how Nell handled Wanda after the comments about her mom. Let me know what you guys think. Please vote so I know what you guys think in the chat. Thank you, everybody. I'll give you guys some time to vote, and then I will just keep on going. All right. So, yeah, I just think that Nell, I personally think Nell was way too calm for my liking, because there is no way somebody will be out here talking about somebody's mom that has passed and saying, oh, well, maybe you didn't really finish all the things you had to say. Nah, bro. Who are you? Who are you to tell me what do you know about me and my mother? So I think that she was good, and I think at that point everyone kind of knew like things had gone left, because I think that's kind of where everyone sort of stepped in a little bit and started being like, okay, let's step in. I think people then decided to step in. I think after that point people stepped in, but before that point I think it was still people were kind of like, oh, it's still okay, it's still okay. But yeah, all right, let me see how the poll is doing, guys. I just put a poll in the chat. Please vote so I know what you guys think. All right, let me see. Badger says, I've got 2 children, and if they got problems with their partners, I listen and advise them. How Rasputia gets involved because of that's not me, as long as hands are not being thrown. Absolutely. I think like that's how it should be. I don't think that, as a parent, you need to be involved like that in your children's business. I feel like, yes, you can have conversations, yes, you can advise them, but then chiming in, jumping in to have conversations with their partners, all that kind of stuff, I think is a little bit too much. Exactly as you said, as long as it's not like hands are being thrown. Now, if hands are being thrown, please, of course, the way you handle that would be different. But I think if hands are not being thrown, everyone is safe emotionally, physically, mentally, then it's like, why am I getting involved? This ain't my business. This is between y'all fix it. And so yes, I do think Wanda is very involved, like very, very involved, even in her friendships. Like, she's a grown woman. I'm sorry, even me, like, I know I don't have kids yet, but as a parent, I'm staying out of your business. There's no reason for me to be coming in to come and be trying to check your friend. Like, what benefit will that be to me? Like, why would I do that? Like, I just don't get it personally. That's not something that I would, you know, concern myself with, just as a person, as a yeah, I just can't even picture it. Like, for me, even as close as I am to my mom, I speak to my mom every time, every day. And yeah, I even thought she just called me, but no. I speak to my mom every day. And to think, like, even with that, there is no way, there's no world where I would expect her to come in to be interrupting, to be meddling in my business. No, 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 no. Hell no. Meddling in and having conversation with my friends or any of that, or coming to come and fight my battles. No. She knows I got it. There's no reason for her to come in and do nothing. Watch me work. Like, so yeah. I definitely think Tisha is immature. I think that they have let Tisha be immature all these years and nobody had a thing to say about it. And so I think that that's just the repercussions of, I guess, if you keep quiet long enough, it becomes a pattern. And so I just think that that's where that is with her. But I do think that there's been a lot of scenarios on the show where I feel like I wish she was held accountable. I feel like, even if you think about the whole Destiny thing, Destiny could have also used the opportunity to be like, Tisha, we already addressed this. Why are we talking about this again? Right? And so I just think that people are not holding her accountable long enough, and that's why this behavior continues. User said T asked Wanda to come and get involved with Nell. Absolutely agree. And that's why I'm just saying, like, even if your child tells you to come and get involved, at what point do you say, like, nah, that's your business? You're a grown woman, handle your business. But I guess maybe it's for TV as well, when it's like, okay, mom, come, let's make this check. Because maybe that's what it is about, right? Let's make this check. Let's bring you on the show. Come handle Nell. That could be a scene. You could get some money. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah. But regardless, I feel like Tisha has always done that, right? The difference is she would always hide behind, oh, that's just my mama. My mama is just involved. As opposed to, no, you have encouraged this behavior. This is something that you have actually invited her to come and do. But because, of course, we had never seen a scene where Tisha would literally say to her mama to come fight. But this one, it seems like she was like, yeah, come get involved, come get it started. Those were basically what she said. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's basically what it was given. And so I think that ultimately, even if your daughter is like, yes, come, and is hyping you up, at what point do you say, okay, maybe let me stay out of it? This ain't my business. New Beam, I hope I'm saying it right. New Beam says Tisha is really hurt from I think that the rest of what you were saying cut off, so maybe put that in the chat and I'll bring it back up. Hey Super, hi Super, how are you? Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for joining in, girl. Hope you're good. User says T will be an embarrassment to her teenage kids because she's very messy and immature. Ooh, that one is hard. Yeah, like I don't know. Personally, I'm like I'm a little bit like I don't know because people are different in different settings. I've never really seen our interaction. I don't think I've seen enough of our interaction with the kids to know whether or not, but you could be right. Bajin says, but Nell was disgusting to Mel, and now look, Nell became a pick me. Yes, and this is why it's so important. Be careful when you're coming into spaces that you don't know what's happening over there. Don't be acting like you are the end and be all. Don't be acting like you know what's going on in that place. You don't know what's going on in someone's house. So I feel like Nell came in probably thinking like, yes, it's pretty easy. I can run it just like you run it, right? And so I think she came with that mindset. She thought it was going to be a walk in a park. She's seen Melody run ish and probably thought, like, how hard could it be? And then when it turned out to be harder than she thought, it's like, girl, what am I supposed to do with this? So that's what I think it has been. I think it was probably a huge shock for her, the way the girls are giving her a run for her money, the way Tisha has been on her neck, applying that pressure, the way everyone, that's why she was starting to feel that everyone was ganging up against her. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, this was the life you chose. Because I definitely remember her trying to get in with the it crowd in quotation marks, right? It's easy when you see someone is on an island by themselves, it's easy to always assume that they were the ones that put themselves there. But sometimes you don't know what caused them to be on that island. You don't know other external factors. You don't know, maybe they have been good and fighting tooth and nail, and the person on the other end is the one that pushed them there. You don't know that. And so even when the way she would twist some of the comments that Mel had made and say certain things in her confessionals, I was just like, that is not a friend. You know, I've covered it on this show, and I used to say that Nell is not Mel's friend, and I was right. She had never been her friend. She is not her friend. Um, and ultimately definitely wanted the attention, the fame from the show, and I guess she's getting it now. It's probably just not as comfortable as she thought it would be. She probably thought she would have a relationship with the girl, she would be gathering the girls, in charge of the girls, but they don't see you like that. And it's probably never going to be like that. So, yeah, good luck to her. Bajan says, I reckon Marceau would leave when the youngest one flies the nest. Ooh, interesting. Do you reckon? You think he would leave? Hmm. I don't know, because then he may not necessarily leave, but he may be doing his own thing, which a lot of people do when their kids finally fly the nest. And they're like, okay, I have all this time on my hands. Things are not really going well at home. That's when people start picking up hobbies and living like separate lives. So I don't know if he would necessarily leave. Because think about it also, I don't know how long the show is going to be anyway, be on for. Because the way things are going, we don't know if the show is going to be on for a lot longer or if it's going to end very soon. I don't know for a fact. But I do low key think I'm very, very curious to see how things will pan out between them. Like, is this something where they will still keep the relationship going even after? Um, if I had to have a prediction, I would say Marceau will probably stay there. I think that Marceau and Tisha benefit from that united front. I think that, think about it. Martell is barely on the show anymore since the divorce, right? He's barely on the show since Melody actually left, right? He's barely on the show. So if any of these couples are still on the show and they get a divorce, what's going to happen? They are probably going to lose their source of income on the show, ultimately, eventually, or they will be phased out unless they're interesting enough to be kept on, right? And so I don't necessarily think that he would just or take the plunge and get a divorce, in my opinion. I think he will still stay and ride it out. but he may be doing his own thing. That would be my prediction. But yeah, let me know, guys. Like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Marceau, do you guys agree with Bajan that Marceau will leave when the youngest one flies the nest? Do you think he's going to continue to stay? I do not know. I personally don't think he would leave. I think that, yeah, I don't think he would leave. Okay, I'm going to give you guys one more minute to engage on the poll and then I will close it and we can move on. Because I'll probably do another poll for the Maurice of it all. Although that better be unanimous. Bajan says when she was taking Marceau Jr. to college and she said she was going to get a place near his college, he looked at her and was like, no, yes, I know, I remember that. That was hideous. Like, girl, who do you think you are getting a house next to your teenage son? Like, get a life, please. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. I don't blame him. I would have looked at my mom like that if she was like, "Well, she's gonna come me like, be please." Mm-mm. Bajan says thick tongue don't have anything with them girls since the hair product thing. Interesting. Yes. So I don't know. I guess I don't even think I've seen much or heard much about the hair products on Tisha's page in a while. Let me see. I don't think I've been on her Instagram in a while, have I? Let me have a look. Let's see if. And then whilst we're over there talking about Miss Tisha, I just saw a video of Melody enjoying herself on holiday. It's like, okay, it was over here enjoying her life. Okay. Um, let me just get Tisha's page up. Let's see. I can't even remember her name on Instagram. That's crazy. Yo, help me out. What is Tisha's name on the socials? Okay, I found it. I don't know why I thought it was I am Letitia Scott. No, it's Letitia Scott. Okay, found her. Okay, let me share my screen so we can snoop together. Let's snoop together. I don't see nothing about no hair products. Also, are they leasing the space? Okay, so it looks like they're trying to lease the space. That makes sense. It makes business sense to get a space and lease the space in that way because there may always be people looking for. Okay, so I don't see nothing about the hair products. I see their kid there. She looks beautiful. She's a cute girl. Maybe this might be the hair stuff. Okay, so she talks about the hair care days. That was in November 2025. Okay, so not bad. She's not actively promoting it, but she has promoted it. At least the last time she promoted it was in November. So that's not too bad. Excuse me. Bajan says, true, more trips to Africa. Yep, that's something I think he would do, where he's just traveling, doing solo, moving like he lives alone and he's alone. I've always wondered, like, when people are married and they're living like completely separate lives, like one spouse is like traveling all over the world, never with their wife every single time. It's like you can't even take your wife to one trip in a year. Like, what's going on? But you are everywhere, jumping from place to place to place while she has to watch the babies. Yeah, now that's a problem. But yeah, I definitely believe that he may take more trips to Africa. Um, he may definitely take more trips to Africa. That's for sure. User said he's already doing his own thing in Africa. Yep, that's what it's given. He is probably doing something. So yeah. Badman says, but he might not want to be the only one married. Mr. Potato Head is looking like he's heading down the divorce route. Pauper divorce. He may want to be in the singles club. Okay. Yeah, I will not be surprised actually. I guess if any of them end up getting a divorce, I will not be surprised. Maurice definitely is looking like he's tired. Maurice definitely looks like he wants out. And so I actually think that Kimmi needs to give him an out because I don't think it's going to end well. Super says, why did they shoot the reunion in October if the show wasn't done? It will be October again before it's done. Yep. They always do this every time. They would always shoot the reunion way before the show ends. And it's like, what reunion are we doing if half the show hasn't even happened? But that's what they do. That is what they do. And that is why it's like most times, right, when something is not working, people are always willing to change it. For some reason, these people is like, it may not be working, but they will stick to it and continue to do it. And it's like, why are we still doing what clearly ain't working? I do not understand, but that's what these people be doing. They will still stick to what is clearly not working and continue to do the same thing over and over again. This is my views about not Bravo, own TV. New Beam says it's just something moms say to joke. She wasn't serious. I've said that to all my college kids. Oh, have you? Oh, give them a little threat that mommy is coming. Mommy is moving in. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I could definitely see that, to be honest. Fair enough. User said he's not denying Martell podcast. Ah, Martell has a podcast? User, please clarify. Because Martell has a podcast? I did not know Martell has a podcast. Please clarify what, where, when. Like, where's the podcast? Who's showing up to this dang podcast? What's the podcast about? Please. Yeah, like please let me know because I'm confused. So yeah. In the meantime, let me have a look at the poll and then let me see what the result is. So if you guys haven't done the poll, do it now because I'm about to check the poll. Okay, so the question was, do you think Nell handled Miss Wanda well after the comments about her mom? 56% said yes, 44% said no. So it sounds like okay, it's almost like close enough. Like yes, one, but then no was not too far back. So yeah, I guess people are different, really. I think she definitely said some things, but I would have said way more things than she said. I think she handled it very, very well. And you all know I am calm, but there's no way I don't think it's appropriate talking about someone's mom that has passed away. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. Not cool. So yeah, I'm definitely with that. All right. Let me just read a few more comments and then we will move on to the Maurice of it all because I have lots to say on that guy. I just can't. And I'm going to have to bring some clips here for y'all because we got to watch it together. Sorry, I am going to subject you to that mess again. Marta and Arian's podcast regarding the Scott brothers and the other woman. Oh, okay, fine. Yes. Yeah. I think that was also interesting. He just kind of skated around it and did not really go into it. I think it's very interesting the kind of women these men married because there's no way I would be with a man and you'd ask a question like, or someone would ask me a question about something like that. And him kind of dodging the question would have been okay. Like, no, I would have questions. There's no way I'm going to be out here. No chance. Looking stupid, knowing fully well the kind of appetite the man has. So, in my mind, with the kind of appetite that this man has, you can't tell me you don't have no doubts or you don't have any suspicions about this man being able to allegedly step out on you. There has to be some doubt somewhere. There's no way. There is no way whatsoever. There has to be some doubt somewhere. With a man that wants to have sex 3 times a day, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say sex. Shegs 3 times a day. You want to do the who says whoopee? Someone says whoopee. Heavenly? Dr. Heavenly says that. Yeah, you want to do the thing 3 times a day, every single day. Now that being said, someone did get in my comment. Shout out to you. She literally said that, yeah, she doesn't see any issue doing it 3 times a day. And I was like, okay, okay. But then I asked her every day and she hasn't responded yet, or maybe I've missed it. But I'll go back and look in my comments and see if she responded because I am very curious. Every single day, 3 times a day? Let me do a poll whilst that is on my mind. Let's do a poll. And you like also tell me, do you think having sex 3 times a day is excessive? Because at this point, it looks like we got to ask. Because the last time I said it was excessive, someone was in the comments telling me it wasn't. Okay. All right. I put a question in the poll. You all please engage with the poll and let me know what you guys think because I want to know what you think. Because someone was in the comments telling me it ain't excessive, so maybe I'm bugging. So I'm gonna let you all decide in the poll and then I will read the poll. Okay. Okay. Super says, don't nobody, almost 60 have time for that. I know. It's like, who has time for that? Like, every day? Multiple times a day? Like, I'm not even 60. And I do not have time to be doing all of that every single day, multiple times a day. Like, no, thank you. I don't even have any desire to. So maybe the appetite ain't there, but no way, no chance. Okay, so let's talk about Maurice and Kimmi. Maurice is a problem. Kimmi, I don't know how to tell you, but Maurice is a problem. That man does not like you. That man, okay, let me just put my banner up. This is all alleged. This is my commentary. This is my opinion. I do not know if it's the truth, everybody, but this is my opinion. Okay? That man does not like you. That man sees you as a warm body that he can use to fulfill his desires. In my opinion, this is what I think. Like I said, no way of verifying, but these are my opinions. There is no way it would be okay for this man to be out here doing like, oh no, I want to have sex 3 times a day after everything your body has been through. Like, let's not act like Kimmi is a spring chicken. Like, Kimmi is a woman of a particular age, right? She has more different priorities, or she should have different priorities in life than sex at this stage, right? At this stage of her life, she should be enjoying her son, enjoying Maurice. If Maurice was being a good husband, she could be enjoying her life, getting the wind in her hair, living her best life. These are some of the things that she could be doing. Mama could be having a good old time. And it's so disappointing that somebody like Maurice is the one that is about to have you out here losing. No, thank you. Hi, Linnell. Hello, good evening. Thanks for joining in tonight. I hope you are well. Kenneth Bland says, good evening, R&R mods in chat. Good evening, Kenneth. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Sunday. I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining. Bajan says, I'm too old for Nuki now. Maybe when I was younger, I can't even lift my toe, let alone 3 times a day. Oh, bless you. But to be honest, I bet even when you were younger, 3 times a day, well, you had an appetite in your day then. But 3 times a day. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, nah, she is trying. And so Kimmi is a woman of a particular age. when she is meant to be on holiday, enjoying her life, letting the wind blow in her hair, living her best life, loving on her husband and her kids. That's what she should be doing. Not worrying about whether her man has gotten his fill for the day. Like, I'm not saying you can't have a healthy sexual appetite. I'm not saying that at all. But there should be no reason why you want to be doing the do all of the time. And it replaces quality time with your wife. Because every time we see the interaction with Kimmi, she always seems like she's so grateful to have just a little bit of his time. Not saying you shouldn't be grateful to have your man's time, but that usually shows that you don't get enough of it. That is such a huge thing that you have to be thanking him for. Oh, thanks for this day. You know, I love when we go on dates. Oh, we should do more of this. It's like, honey, why is that your point every single time? If that man is loving you correctly, you would be going on dates regularly. You will not need to thank him every single time for taking you out on a date. Okay? You would not need to do all of that. And so it is definitely given that you, I don't even know where to start. It's definitely given that, like, something ain't right. You're clearly not getting quality time. It is all about the sex. That is it. Nothing more. And that is so, so sad. And the problem, one of the things that makes it so worse with Maurice is it is obvious like Maurice ain't even trying to change. That man ain't even trying to change. He's not even trying to see it from someone else's perspective. He has his own views. He has his own views. His own views is it's not a big deal. His own views is I'm not giving you quality time. Right? You get quality time where you lay down. That's what it is given. And it's funny because people like Maurice, you can't even tell them nothing because they will hear what they want to hear. They will repeat what they want to repeat. You don't get any changed behavior from them. They will do the same thing over and over and over and over again because this is who they are. That is who Maurice is. Does not want to have to take accountability, does not have to be self-aware, doesn't even consider needing to be self-aware. It's like, why do I have to be self-aware? That's where Maurice is. And it's like, honey, your wife is craving your attention. Your wife just wants you home, wants to spend time with you, wants to talk to you, wants you to be out here fixing ish. Instead, you want to sit down and do absolutely nothing and be in your in her words, did she say soft girl era or what did she say? Soft hands era. I think it was soft hands era. You want to be in your soft hands era. You do not want to lift a finger. You want to all be doing the mental gymnastics. That's what you want. And don't get me wrong, that's all well and good. As someone who doesn't do a lot of physical stuff, I do more mental stuff. But I also understand. I understand if your spouse, let's say my spouse saw me picking up things, building things, and all of a sudden I no longer build things, she's probably thinking, like, what are we doing? And so I definitely think that, yeah, I feel like the relationship is running its course. It's so obvious that man has checked out. That man has told you in multiple ways that he does not want you. I do not know what else to tell you, Kimmi. Kimmi looks worn out. Do you not remember Kimmi from season 1? Kimmi looked refreshed, honey, in season 1. She looked refreshed. She looked refreshed. Now she does not look refreshed at all. Now she looks tired. She looks like she can't even lift a finger. But no. All right, let's see what the comments are saying. New Beam says, if I was older and retired, I think 2 times a day, a couple of days would be nice, but definitely not every day. No way. Yes, I agree. I think 2 times a day sounds all right. Like every now and then, not every single day. Like 2 times a day, maybe 3, 4 times a week, or 2, 3, 4 times a week. should be all right. But every day, no, miss me with that. Sorry. Miss me with that. Kenneth says, in my opinion, this is fake. This storyline about Maurice and Side End is to keep people engaged and watching. They will take a break and come and at some point come back. Do you know what? You could be right because at this point, everything may be done for the entertainment because they know the people ain't watching as they used to. And if the people ain't watching like they used to, the people are going to do whatever it takes to get the people watching. And so I will not be surprised if you're right. So you may be right. You may actually be right. So I'm gonna just say that. You may actually be right because I can't put anything past these people. These people, whatever they have to do, they will do it for a check. That's for sure. So I'm just gonna say that. So I'm definitely with you on that. It could absolutely be a storyline. But the reason I don't think it's a storyline is maybe the Maurice and the side ish, maybe, but the way Maurice, the way Kimmy's face was, and Kimmi looks worn out. The way Kimmi looks worn out gives the impression of that lady is tired. She is spent. She has been through it. She continues to go through it. That lady is tired and needs a break. And that's usually like when a woman starts to look like that, it's given that she is not at peace in her marriage. She is going through it in her marriage. That is what it gives. Because there's no reason for her to look that exhausted, that frustrated. So that's why I'm like, yeah, maybe the Maurice and maybe some of the stuff could be scripted, but I think that deep down, I don't think she's happy in that relationship. Kenna says there will be no more reunions, in my opinion, to keep from addressing each other. If they scrap the reunion, then I don't know what they're doing. Because the reunions is usually the one time a lot of them show up and show out. A lot of them be dry the whole season and then at the reunion try to come up and act like they have a little bit of humph. And so I definitely think that if that's what they're doing, they do the no more reunions, I don't know that that is a good thing, in my opinion. Guys, please hit that like button. There's 34 people in the chat and the likes are not matching. So please hit that like button, everybody. Bajan says she's only 36. There is no way. No way she is 36. No chance. Kenna says they will do 5 to 7 episodes, break, review, come back, no reunion. If they have a reunion, then they will have to discuss, talk about the fake ish. Yes, I do you know what? At this point, if they decide not to have a reunion, then it's like, what are we doing? I feel like they need to at least have a reunion. But I do think that they should always do a reunion after all the episodes have come out. Um or after they've filmed all of the episodes. Even if the episodes have not come out, they need to at least film the episodes. I think it's very odd to not have everything filmed and be doing reunion. It's like, what am I what am I doing a reunion about? Like, am I going to have to now be plucking things out of thin air about what I think is going to happen and then be bringing it to the reunion? It doesn't make sense. They definitely need to do better in the way in which they go about their reunions, in my opinion. But that's not the only thing they need to learn. So I'm not sure where that's going to happen, what's going to happen, what will change. But for now, they definitely need to do better with the reunions. At least the way they schedule their reunions. Kenneth says no one is going to divorce or separate at all after keeping the show moving forward at all cost. No one is going to divorce or separate it all about keeping the show moving forward. Exactly. I agree with you. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. I don't think any of them, if the show is still going on, I don't think any of them will leave, will get a divorce because they know the implications of getting a divorce. I don't think none of them are going to do it because they're probably thinking like, yo, if I get a divorce, that means I'm going to have to be by myself. And how long am I really going to last on the show if you get a divorce? And so I definitely think that they're not going to do it. They'll probably end up just staying together for the check, even if they're not happy. This is just my personal like opinion, just across the board. But I think it's very clear that Kimmi is not happy. Kimmi looks worn out. Kimmi looks exhausted. And the Super has even said it, so I don't have to say it. The entire conversation was embarrassing. Yes, it absolutely was. I could not believe how embarrassing it was. It was so embarrassing. And I'm just like, it's so sad to just have this man sit in front of you and not give a dang. He did not care about her feelings. And that's why I'm like, we need to watch the clip. So I will play the clip at some point for y'all today, because I feel like we need to watch it and play it and analyze it, because that man did not care one bit. He did not care about her at all. At all. Kenneth says as long as the Miserable Ish show is their number one show, they will keep it going since they have nothing to replace it with. Now, this is an excellent point. I don't think you're right. I think that they will keep the show going for as long as they have to. Let's be clear. That's why now you can tell the people are clocking in. They had all these storylines all these years and nobody did anything with it until Mel left. Mel left, they knew they had to pull their weights because they could not afford for the show to completely get cancelled. So now everybody all of a sudden is coming up with their own, with everything, right? Everyone is all of a sudden coming up with, oh, I have a mom that I can bring on the show, or I can do this on the show. But it's like, where was your mom all these seasons that ago? Why wasn't that a storyline? So it's definitely giving like now everyone is just throwing whatever at the wall to see what sticks. So yes, you are right. This is their number one show. So they will do whatever it takes to keep the show running, whatever it takes. Even if it means concocted beef, fighting about nothing, I feel like they will do whatever it takes to keep the check running. So don't be surprised if you see stuff even looking more scripted than usual. Neil Beam says, you have to win my heart, time, thoughts, rub my back, read me an interesting article, dance with me, look into my eyes, make my car appointment, and so on to get the best good. Yes, and that is how it should be. You shouldn't be barest minimum. You can't even help around with the kids. Yet you expect me to come and give it to you and give it to you good. Like, no, it will not be good. Oh, you're not even going to get it. That lady is tired. She's probably carrying the load in that house, dealing with stuff. So, no, that woman is tired. She ain't get it for you like that. Not me talking in my high-pitched voice like Tisha. Why did T husband have a vasectomy without discussing with his wife? User, because he can. Because there is no accountability in that household. Because he can do whatever he wants. The same way he decided to go to Africa without his wife, in my opinion. So I guess he just does whatever he wants and she lets him. Super says the whole trailer looks scripted. Yes, it does look scripted. It definitely looks like they're trying to get the people to watch. And whatever it is they have to do to get the people to watch is what they are doing. They're definitely forcing it upon us. They definitely want us to watch it. So yes. Newbie says Kimmi looks dejected after that conversation with Maurice. Yep, she definitely did. She definitely did. Let me see if I can get the clip out. She definitely did. Let me see if I can get the clip. But yeah, she definitely did. She looks so sad. Like I felt so bad for her. Low-key, I felt bad for her. Like, don't get me wrong, Kimmi ain't great. Kimmi has shown herself to be a clown. Kimmi has done a lot of things. Guys, we only have 22 likes. That is not right. Please hit that like button, everybody. Please smash it. Smash that like button, please, and thank you. Okay, so that's the thing. I just feel like Kimmi, yes, Kimmi has done a lot of things, but I feel bad for her. Like, I could not just imagine. Like, I don't think there's anything anyone can do to deserve a man that looks at you like he doesn't give a dang. A man that looks at you like he doesn't care if you leave or stay. A man that looks at you with such disdain because you are not smashing him every time he wants to be smashed. A man that is getting angry at you for not smashing him enough. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? You know? And it's like, it's so sad because you can see that it looks like Kimmi is having to baby that man. I even almost called him a boy. I had to gather myself to not do that. But he moves like a child. His behavior is reminiscent of how a child would behave. That's the vibe he gives. And so I actually don't, I feel bad for Kimmi that she's having to deal with this, but at the same time, I also feel like she enabled him in some of the things that I've seen. All that baby voice, speaking to him like he's a child, having to try and always make things so soft, landing for him. It's like all of those things are enabling behavior for a man like him. Bajan says she's stupid from the time he told her in the earlier season when they went to the cabin. And if I remember rightly, he said he was going to buy a house for Kiowa so that Monster could be closer. Yep. Yeah, that was definitely not a good sign. And also, any man that is always so focused on sex, that is a man that you need to watch because you can't even vouch for him. You can't even vouch for how he handles himself because if you want it 3-4 times a day, and I can't give it to you 3 times a day every single day, what are you doing? Especially if it bothers you this much that we are having constant conversations about it. Think about it. If we're having these many conversations about it, what are you doing privately? This is the question that I have. What are you doing privately on days when I cannot satisfy the so called urge that you have? Super says no empathy for Kimmi. Sorry, not sorry. Super is savage. Super is like, she brought it on herself. I do not have no empathy for her. And look at Bajan too. Bajan says, Kama caught her good. I'm with you. Sorry, not sorry, you guys. New Beam says that was tough because Liz Reese looked mad at her as if Kimmi was the issue. Yes, he did. And she clocked him by literally saying out. She literally clocked him by saying that he wants her to be the villain. That's why I feel like she clocked him. Let me get the clip out because I'm like, we be saying some things, honey. But yes, let us get the clip out. Okay, so this may be it. Let me share my screen.
This is a problem because there's a difference between my desires and your desires.
Okay, so he's like, there's a problem because there's a difference between my desires and your desires. I didn't want to play the whole thing because I'm like, I don't want us to be here all night talking about Maurice. Maurice is bolded.
Right?
It's not always been that way.
Oh, she said it's not always been that way. So it sounds like over time, his appetite seemed to have increased. Do you all believe Kimmi when she said it wasn't always that way? Because I think sometimes women delude themselves and make it seem like, oh, yeah, it wasn't always that way, when in reality, that's how it has always been. Right? So I low-key feel like, what do you think? Do you think that it has always been this way? Or do you think that, yeah, let me know in the chat. Do you think that Maurice has always been that way? I am inclined to say Maurice has always been that way. I'm not gonna lie. I am inclined to say Maurice has always been that way. I think he's always shown himself to be perverse, in my opinion. Right? He's always shown himself to be very hypersexual, in my opinion. So I just think he's definitely shown himself to be that way. So I don't necessarily believe what she's saying about him not showing himself to be that way in the past.
Was it not normal before?
Maurice, don't act like that was like an everyday, all the time thing.
I'm just saying, you know,
it has happened several times, but we're not gonna act like that was an everyday thing.
Okay. She's like, we're not going to act like it's an everyday thing. Look at her eyes, guys. Look at her eyes. Her eyes look like she was so hurt. Like she looked frustrated, like someone that was just like on their last leg. That's what it looks like. He made her cry, then she was just the housekeeper for months. Like, yes, exactly. But that's the thing. To be honest, Bajan, he has shown so many signs from day one that this man ain't it. But yet she married him. And I'm like, we need to also take, as much as yes, Maurice is the problem, Maurice is disgusting, Maurice is a huge problem. I also think that to make sure we don't repeat behavior like this, we need to also take accountability. We need to take accountability. What is it? What signs did we miss so we don't miss them again? And I think Kimmi definitely ignored a lot of signs. The signs were there. It was red flags flying left, right, center. The flags were flying, but she refused to believe them. And so I think it's very, very sad that it's gotten to that point. But yeah, New Beam says replace it with Heart and Hustle. Houston, that show was or is amazing. I completely agree. I love that show. And for a show that was so positive, I feel like it was enjoyable. It got a lot of engagement. And so I definitely think that that show needs to be kept, in my opinion. I feel like that's a very, very, very good show. And that show needs to be number one.
it was never a time.
And it was never like you would.
Look at him. Look at him. He's like a child that is irritated that he did not get his desires met. It's like, dude, how many desires do you have in this relationship? You can't get into some sort of middle ground with your wife? It's just a child.
Get angry. Like if it did.
This is what got me. She said he will get angry. Angry. If his needs are not met, I'm gonna play that.
Didn't happen, it just didn't happen. You get like
It happened all the time, though.
It did.
This nigga said, oh my god, did I just call him a ninja? This ninja said it happened all the time though. Like, look at his face. I'm like, my goodness, sister, if this is what you're dealing with on camera, I hate to see what you're dealing with in private, sis. I hate to see what you are dealing with in private because it cannot be good. There is no way whatever you're dealing with in private is better than what we are seeing. This man has shown you in different ways. He has told you who he is. I guess you did not believe him. And now it's like, who do you have to blame at this stage now?
Didn't happen all the time.
It didn't happen all the time.
Look at her face. She looks like she was about to cry. Look at her face.
Okay.
This lady is fed up. She is fed up. She is fed up.
You think?
Look at his face. She looks fed up and frustrated. He looks happy. He has checked out of that relationship. He does not want to be there. At this point, maybe he's just waiting for her to pull the plug because he does not want to be there. Look at him smiling.
I think it oftentimes only happened once. Oftentimes it was more than once, wasn't it?
Oftentimes it was more than once.
In a day.
No.
So it's like, okay, Kimmi, was it? Because now I'm like, I don't know. I don't believe. I feel like it was definitely happening more than once at some point. Because how did that become a thing? That it has to be more than once a day, right? Like it started from somewhere. So I don't know who's telling the truth, who is lying about the timelines. But what I do know is on the show, we've heard it a lot of times being said about their sex life. So the conversation did not just start today. It's been happening. So I don't know who's telling the truth, but I don't know. Heart and Hustle, Houston has the potential to be number one. That's why I think Carlos doesn't review that show on Mondays. Maybe he's protecting his current number one show, but I do think that that show will become number one. It's only a matter of time. If they continue at the rate in which they are, it will, before long, it will become number one. Now, for those who have just come in, thank you so much for joining. Please hit that like button. We are whacking Maurice for the way he was speaking to Kimmi, and we are holding Kimmi accountable for ignoring all the red flags when it comes to Maurice. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get into it. And also join the chat because the chat is lit. So let's go. Super says Maurice does not need a wife. He's good with tricking with randoms. Okay. That is definitely what it's given. It's given like he probably just wants the stability of being married on paper. You know, when like it looks good to be married on paper, you know, you look like a respectable man when you go to like meetings and you can go to networking things with your wife and all that kind of stuff. You look like a respectable, trusted man when you have a family. But at the same time, it's like for this kind of appetite. Now, here's the thing I want to flag. Most people may not have such an issue with a man having that kind of appetite if he was treating her really good, if she was happy, if she was settled, if he was doing the things that she wants him to do. Right? People will be like, okay, maybe reduce it a little bit. But even the way he talks to her about it is concerning. And the fact that she's finally opening up, because before she gaslight us, or she decided to gaslight us in the past, or gaslit us in the past, where she was talking about, she was making it seem like he doesn't make it into a thing, he doesn't get angry or anything, when in fact he does get angry if he doesn't get his way, according to what she's saying here. When a lot of the people were saying it back then in the podcast, it was like it was made to seem like the people were overreacting, when in reality the people were not reacting enough for what he said about you rolling over to take it when you had cancer. And so I just think like these are the things that sometimes it's like if we don't nip things in the bud and let people continue to spill and do nonsense, it's like he will continue to test your boundaries. That's why he thought it was okay to go on the Carlos King podcast to be talking about your sex life and be talking about he's so grateful that you're rolling over and taking it whilst you have cancer. That's why he thought it was appropriate to make jokes about your hair. Because you did not enforce the standard. If he tried it once and you told him, no, that's unacceptable, but don't you ever talk about me like that ever again. If he then does it, then you move with action. But if you're constantly babying him, having the baby voice, like you're talking to your child, treating him like he's your baby, at some point, it's like there also has to be some accountability for enablement. Now, like I said, I still feel sorry for her. I'm always going to feel sorry for the victim in this case, and I think Kimmi is the victim in this case. But I will say, she does also have some accountability for ignoring flags that were slapping her in the face from day one, in my opinion. User says Kimmi has looked unhappy since the podcast with Martell and Arian interviewed the lady talking about her relationship in her husband's office with the brothers on the Vegas trip. To be honest, if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if she truly believes that it happened. Because the thing is, you can say and pretend and say, oh, no, I don't believe it. I don't think it's true, blah, blah, blah. But if deep down you think it is true, it will affect the way you relate to your husband. It would affect the way you see him, especially if you think it's true. Because even what it sounded like is they would usually smash at his work where he's working. So how is it so far-fetched what this lady was saying if even they smashed at his workplace? You know? So I think she probably believes it, but she knows there's nothing that she can do but right for her man. That's probably what it is. Bajan says she has made herself look good and foolish. She covered and lied for him with lipstick, gates, and snacks. Yep, I think that's the thing. I think that's the problem that she is. She is a classic enabler. When someone is doing something wrong and constantly embarrassing them, let them experience the consequences of their actions. I think that's where Kimmi made a mistake. She made the first mistake marrying him, yes. But the second mistake was enabling him. When he would go and speak out of turn and be out here in these streets saying whatever he's saying, she should have left him, not come out to clarify nothing, let him enjoy the repercussions of what he has said. Enjoy it, sit in it. This is the bed that you created, now lie in it. That's what she should have done. But instead, coming to come and defend the man that will not defend you, coming to come and like clean it up for a man that is not going to clean it up. That's where you got it wrong, because you taught him that that's the way to treat you. You taught him that you don't have standards. You taught him that it's okay for him to treat you however he feels like treating you. And that is okay. So you can't be mad now. Well, I guess you can be mad, but it's like you enabled it. So you have to try not to be enabling. You need to take certain steps to think, what have I done to continue to enable this dynamic? Super says, no, I don't believe Kimmi. It's proven in earlier seasons. Yes, I agree. I think in earlier seasons, it was definitely, it has come up about this, sex thing. So it is not new. We have known about this for a while. He's talked about it. They've talked about it. He's made a lot of comments about it over the years. So it is not a new thing for us. So her saying that they never used to have sex 3 times a day, I don't know. I struggle to believe it, because I think even she has validated that in earlier season, in my opinion.
Oh, it's not oftentimes.
Look at him like a kid.
Okay.
No.
Well, you were the person disappointed when we didn't.
And this is where I felt Kimmi be exhausted. Kimmi, that deep sigh of like, oh, this ninja. That is definitely what it's given, like this ninja. She definitely has a lot of patience. I will say that she has a lot of patience. I feel like, I wonder if it's patience because you know who you married, because you were the one that sought him out. According to the conversations that we've heard about you guys, dating or whatever, it sounds like you went and sought this man out. And it's like, now look at you, sis. How the mighty are falling. So sad.
Right.
Well, that's because
Look at his face. Right? Such a child. It's like a child that they removed or took his candy away. Like, no, you're not going to have candy. He's like, no, I want my candy. That is what it's given. Such a child. And it's like, it's very interesting because Kimmi has that mothering dynamic. It's almost like they have a mother and son dynamic. She babies him. He throws a tantrum. She gives him what he wants. She enables him. She validates the tantrum. The cycle continues again. So it's like Maurice is another kid that she has. And I never understand why certain women feel like they have to put up with that dynamic. Because why do you have to be raising another child? You already have how many kids? You have one kid, and then you have another kid that you raise. And now you have Maurice acting like another kid. Like, so now you have 3 kids? Okay. ABJ says, hello. Hi, hello. Are you new to the channel? Because I've never seen a comment from you, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. If you are welcome. Please hit that like button. Thank you for joining us tonight. And you are right. That man has checked out. That man has checked out. That man does not want to be there. That man is like, if I could find that video of Dr. Greg singing, set me free, set me free. If I could find that video, that's what I would play for y'all, because that man has checked out. He wants to be set free. And Kimmi needs to just let it go. Let it go. You cannot fight for a marriage if you're the only one fighting, sis. Let it go.
We met once a week.
So she's like, we met once a week. And of course, if it's once a week, I can get to doing it multiple times.
I remember it differently than you do.
So he said, I remember it differently than you do. Is it because you were doing other people? This is a question. Or is it because one of you is lying? That's what I want to know.
You want to remember it differently because you want me to be the villain.
So you want to remember it differently because you want me to be a villain. Now, that is a very interesting point. If you notice, in their dynamic, Maurice never really owns anything completely. And so I think she is right about Maurice wanting her to be the villain because he keeps saying things that gives the impression that it is a Kimmi issue. Kimmi just doesn't want to do this. But dude, do you think maybe instead of twice a day, maybe let's do once a day for every day? Like, can we get to some compromises, sir? Right? Or can we do multiple times a day, 3 times a week? Can we get to some compromises? But it sounds like he does not want to compromise. He just wants what he wants. It's like, I want what I want and I want it now. Why are you getting angry at your wife for not being able to give you XCX multiple times a day? That's a problem. Kenna says, in my opinion, Kimmi is the only one acting the part well. If she has people believing her, remember she had people fold before. There was no talk about Maurice's powers until the storyline was needed. Interesting. But do you think this is really a storyline to this extent? Because the way Kim, unless Kim is a really good actress, the way Kimmi looks miserable now, just in general, even look at her face. She looks worn out. The light in her eyes that used to be in her eyes in season 1 is gone. It looks like the light is dim. So I'm not saying that they may not have like some sort of storyline arrangement of some sort, perhaps, but I just don't believe that she's happy. I think one thing we know well, I don't want to say for sure, but one thing I feel like we can really look at and observe from the way in which she behaves, from the way even her skin looks, from the way she is looking, is definitely giving that she ain't happy. So even if it's a storyline, there has to be some truth to it because it is obvious that she's not happy, in my opinion. At least that's how I see it. From what I see, that's the vibe that I get. But you lot, let me know what you guys think about what I said. Super says Maurice simply doesn't need her because she's not willing to fulfill his needs and feed his addiction. Yep, I think that's what it is. I think he sees her as a warm body. And it's like, what do you mean you can't lay down and do what it is that I need you to do? That's what you're here for. That is the vibe I get when it comes to Maurice. And I do think that it is excessive the way he moves. Like, there's some men that you can see that it's about, like, spending time with your partner and loving on your partner. He just feels like it just seems like a hunger that you're having to feel, like an itch that you're having to itch for him, itch that you're trying to itch. It feels like an itch you're trying to feed, right? Like, it's there, you're like, oh, let me start scratching it, right? That's the impression that I get. It's not like, oh, I love my wife. My wife is looking so sexy today. I just wanna, right? That's not what it is. It's given, yeah, I just want to do a little something because I'm hungry and it's food to me. Right? Which is why they were saying to him in the therapy that it's coming across as he's using it to soothe. They said self-soothing, but I disagree because he self-soothing in a way that he's not fully, well, he still needs someone else. It's not just him, right? He's using it to soothe himself. Yes, I get, but at the expense of somebody else. Bajan says she was under them covers, not complaining on the wedding day, performing for him in lingerie. That's what you get for husband stealing. Bajan is like, I am not with the shenanigans. Close your legs to married men. Okay? Period. Super says, remember when she said, I have sex with you at 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock, you're pulling my pounds down again? Yes, I remember now. Super. And that's exactly how it was said. Like, you have a really good memory. Super. Like, because that's exactly how she said it. I remember that now that you said it. But you're right. So it's like, that basically means like, okay, you're pulling my pants down this year. So, you're basically doing it multiple times. That's what it's given.
I don't
And
want you to be the villain.
yeah. You want me to be the villain, and it's just
Why
that's
would
not
I
the
want
case.
you to be the villain?
I don't know. I keep trying to figure it out. There goes my nice date night.
You couldn't even get one nice date night. You haven't even been going out. He hasn't been taking you out on these dates enough. And then here goes your one date night.
Fact of the matter is, at the start of date night, Maurice actually said he thought therapy was working.
Bro, that man needs more intensive therapy. That therapy ain't working nothing. He needs therapy to change his mindset. And he needs therapy to learn some self-awareness first before he can even get into the sex issue, in my opinion.
When we're in therapy, it seems like things are going well. He has the right answers. We say the right.
Because he wants to be publicly seen to be a good husband. This is my opinion. Right? So in therapy, you want to be like, oh yeah, oh, I'm listening to you. I'm listening. But then after therapy, you ain't going to do anything they've said. You're not going to do what they said. It's all for play.
Things. But this conversation makes me feel like maybe what I'm seeing in therapy isn't exactly how he truly feels.
Yep. That's not how he feels. And let's be honest, let's not be delusional about it. Even in therapy, I got the vibe that he still wanted what he wanted. He was not trying to be compromising even in therapy, madame. So I don't know what it is that you heard, but that man did not give me any impression in therapy that he was going to change. That was not the vibe that I got, because there's no way. It sounded like he understood where the need came from, but it did not sound like he was ready to relinquish the need itself. So just FYI, Kimmi.
What we're not gonna do is keep playing in my face about it.
Period. Now, this I'm happy for her to finally stand up, because for a long time we've been saying, Kimmi, stand up, Kimmi, stand up. Now it feels like she finally stood up, because that man has definitely been playing in your face for a long time.
You can count. You can determine where we were when those days happened, when it was more than once and this, that, and the other. They were in most of your investment properties.
Ooh, so she was like, I was attracted to a working man. A man that was active with his hands. He had investment properties. He was doing things. Okay. So I was throwing it down happily. That's what it sounds like. So it's almost like, okay, she's not attracted to him no more because of he's not doing the things that turn her on anymore. I think that's also part of it.
When you were working, when we were spending time, and I was watching you do the that I like to see. The things that you just don't like to do. You were building, laying floors, laying carpet, putting up cabinets, all that stuff that I would come and get turned on watching you do that you simply don't want to do.
Ooh. Okay. Honestly, I will say I'm happy for her for finally speaking up, because I feel like every time she's always handling him with kitty gloves, she does not say nothing. And then all of a sudden now it sounds like she's finally speaking up for herself. Because I feel like Maurice needed to have been checked a long time ago. The fact that she's even waited this long to even be able to check him like this is even quite surprising. Because it's like, girl, why did it take you so long to check this ninja the way he's been moving for so long? He has done this consistently for a long time. This is not like one new Maurice that we did not know about. most of y'all storyline on the show as a couple has been about the sex. So we've been knowing that this has been an issue for a while now. This is not like some sort of new thing that suddenly came up recently. Nah, we have known for a while that this has been how it has been for a while. And so I just think that I'm glad that she finally is checking him. Newbie says he's trying to gaslight her into believing she was having sex all the time, then change. She remembers what was going on. Yes, I think you may be onto something. The only thing is, I do remember her also saying that I think she was always saying like they were always having sex. Or she didn't say they were always, but she did kind of allude, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but it's almost like I remember in the past something about the, pulling my pants down thing that I think is super that said earlier. But also giving the impression that they will be doing it multiple times a day. So if I'm correct in my recollection, then that means that she was doing it at least sometimes. Even if not all the time, like he may be trying to allude to. User says allegedly, did he marry her because she was a RN and he was struggling to get his law degree? Now he's in his practice, he's showing himself. There's always a question like that. I think this is always a question when you marry somebody who is still in a position of building. You never really know whether like they're marrying you because of what you bring to the table financially, or if they're marrying you for you. I think that is always a bit of a sticking point when you marry someone or you're dating someone who is currently in a space where they're like maybe going through something financially or something. So I guess you never know. Sorry, I'm pouring myself a bit of peppermint tea because it is a little bit cold. I want a little bit of tea tonight. But yeah, let's see. Kenneth said, if I remember, Lot Lizard said her husband. You guys with the funny ass names, man. You guys give these people such funny names. If I remember, Lot Lizard said her mother was not with us in an earlier episode. I could be mistaken. Funny that Maurice's two daughters, Jalen's daughter's family, does not want to be a part of the show. Yeah. I think Jalen does not want to be bothered, and the daughters, we had never even seen the daughters. I didn't even know he had daughters until I don't know who brought it up recently. I don't know who brought it up recently or something, but yeah. Kimmi looks miserable when she attacked Mel at that last reunion. Oh, you're right. She did look miserable. But I just thought maybe it's because she had been like ruminating over what she wanted to say to Mel. User says he needs inpatient sex therapy. Yep, I definitely agree with you. He definitely needs to be held over there. Let them hold him. Let them talk to him about everything. Let him get everything out of the system. Let him be there for a couple of months without sex and see how he fares. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. He definitely needs some inpatient therapy. I believe that they did in the beginning. However, his addiction was not labeled as such. Yes, Key Baby, you are right. I definitely think that they had talked about it a lot, but they've kind of glossed over it and made it seem like it was just appetite. It was all about the appetite. And now I think they're phrasing it as more of he may have an issue. Hey, Priscilla. Everybody say hi to Priscilla. Priscilla is a member. Hi, Priscilla. How are you? Thanks so much for joining tonight. Hope you're doing well. It's so good to see you. It's always a pleasure seeing you. Priscilla says he sounds very selfish. I completely agree. Sounds extremely selfish. It's so unbelievable how selfish that man is. Unbelievable, in my opinion. Unbelievable. And I think it's the fact that he's been able to do it for so long. That man has been unhinged for a long time. And the fact that he went under the radar and people were so focused on Marceau is crazy to me when this one has been the most diabolical one of them all. Diabolical. And I think because Martell has been so crazy and off the rails, nobody was focusing on how crazy Maurice is. Nobody else focusing on how diabolical Maurice is.
So here I am trying to get turned on by myself. Ain't that something?
Ooh, when I say she ate him up with that statement, here I am trying to what did you say? Turn on myself for nothing or something like that. Like, she ate him up with that statement. I'm not gonna lie. She ate him up with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's that little mean streak. She looks at him like, yeah. Like, I know how to cut you too. It goes both ways.
Maybe, well,
That's what you want.
I love that he had to just pause. I love that he had to just pause because he did not see it coming. He is used to the nice Kimmi, and Kimmi was like, yeah, not today. Enough is enough. Not today.
You want me to get turned on by myself just for you being
me.
pretty.
It was never communicated to me early on that these are the terms of our relationship.
Terms?
Yeah. This guy thinks he's in an arrangement with you, honey. He said terms. Like, you're like in a contract, a binding contract. You're gonna give it to me 3 times a day. That's what's in the contract. That's the energy it's giving. Badger says, remember when him and Marcel bought the mom a house, and when mom made the speech, he was like, oh, mommy, he sounded so immature and childish. Not saying he don't love his mom, but come on now. Yeah, I get what you mean. That's the thing, right? Some of these men, when you see the way he's behaving, like, it's one thing to love your mama, but it's another thing to be enamored with your mama. Okay? And I feel like, yeah, sometimes it's like too much is too much. For me, I just feel like I can't even remember that scene. I just think the dynamic between Kimmi and Maurice is definitely giving mother and son vibes, in my opinion. That's just my perspective. He was working for Martha. It wasn't his property. Ooh, Sugar Eason is saying the investment properties that Maurice was allegedly basically showing up to. She's alleging that it wasn't even his, and he was working for Mattel. Now, I don't know for facts, but it could be. Who knows? Imagine if it actually was Martel's property. And imagine you were giving him some, thinking it was his property whilst he was enjoying the benefits, knowing fully well it was not his property. That would be not hilarious, but that would be nuts still. They're out here thinking, oh, this is a hardworking man. He has multiple investment properties, and then he really doesn't. That's definitely giving catfish, honey. If that was what happened, that is giving catfish. It presents us to be something you are not. This is the same issue Martel had with divorce. More sex, divorce. User. Yeah, but I don't even think it was more sex. I think he was saying that he wanted her to give him more oral or something. Well, I guess oral is more sex, but yeah, I think he either wanted more oral or something like that, more oral sex, which I guess is sex. So yeah, you are right. But that's the thing. I don't know how people jump from I want more of this to then let's divorce. But the thing is, if he even did that, we would say, okay, you did it a little bit more in a respectful manner. But to go and do something, I just think Martel just used it as an excuse. I don't really believe that he truly wanted more sex. I think he just used it as an excuse to basically be like, that's why I cheated. That's why I think. Sugar Eason says, yes, he was a barber and was working for Holt and Oates. Oh, Sugar with the tea, honey. Sugar has all the tea. Oh, okay. The plot thickens. Now, Kimmi, that is bad. So you were over there throwing it back at investment properties that allegedly not his.
Yes.
It wasn't communicated to me early on that I was supposed to have sex 2 and 3 times a day.
You were doing it.
This ninja said you were doing it. Ooh. the way he looks at her, like, how dare you? That's the vibe I get.
And you were building. Stop.
And she said, and you were building. Stop. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Bajan said he just took a sip and let her carry on. He's checked out. Yep, he was sipping on that drink. He's like, this drink ain't going to waste. He said this drink is not going to waste. He did not care. He was like, I'm going to drink my drink if I do nothing else. Yeah, he's checked out.
Stop that, Maurice.
No,
Who do you think this is?
This is what I'm saying. I thought it was because of me. I didn't think it was because I was building.
Well, and I thought it was because of me, not because of sex speech times a day. So,
ooh. I love how she gave him a little taste of his own medicine, because it's like he thinks he's untouchable and he does not have nothing to work on, when indeed he has stuff to work on and he needs to be focused on that instead of spending all his time having sex.
if that's the case, you can get that anywhere.
When she said you can get that anywhere, can you see his facial expressions? What do you lot think the rolling of the eyes mean? Like, does that mean that he's trying to tell the people that he is doing what? Like, this is a question, Maurice, because I know you like to sue people. Allegedly, word on the street at least. So please, this is just a question. I'm not saying that this is what you're doing. I'm just asking the questions. Is this like like, what was that facial expression about? Y'all put it in the chat. What do you guys think that facial expression was about? That facial expression that he had on. What did you think that was about? Sugar Sin says, go back to season 1. Yeah, I must go back and watch that. Season 1 just feels so far away to me, especially with all their breaks. Once y'all are doing breaks like that, I check out, I zone out, and then when you all come back, I'm like, oh, okay, Love and Marriage Huntsville's back again. Right? So yeah, I'd be zoning out. He must be thinking about about Lipstick Girl. Oh my gosh. With that rolling of his eyes.
And if the time and attention we got was me watching you build stuff, it also provided a medium for us to sit and talk for hours.
I feel like Maurice does not realize how much Kimmi needs conversations. What people don't realize, he seems to want the physical element. So he wants physical touch. They clearly even have different love languages. He wants physical touch. She wants quality time. That's why every single time she's always talking about more dates. Every single time she's always talking about spending more time together. He is always talking about sex. So it's clear that the way in which they want love is very, very different. And instead of, she is definitely trying to meet your needs, that has been, because why would you have cancer and still be throwing it back? Right? So she definitely seems like she has been watching and looking out for his needs, but then has not been prioritizing her needs. And he has not been prioritizing her needs either. So it's like, it's one thing, Kimmi, for you not to prioritize your needs, but now your man don't even prioritize your needs. And he thinks like he's the only person that has needs in the relationship. It's not looking good, sis.
I get neither of those anymore.
Oh, I feel like this is the first time that she has openly said, I get neither of those. She is always babying him. Oh, we should spend more time together. You know, I love when you invite me to things like this. I love when you take me to things like this. When you need, you're like, instead of saying, dude, I need you to take me on dates 5 times a week. I'm not saying that's what she wants. I'm just saying twice a week, 3 times a week, 5 times a month. This is what I need. I don't think that she is fully verbalizing what you need, what she needs. It's interesting. Super is literally just saying what I'm saying right now. This is why you let a person know what you require before you move forward in a relationship. Absolutely. If you need quality time, I need quality time. For me, I've always said this: when a man is trying to date me, talk to me, or whatnot, I do not do you don't talk to me in a day. If you don't talk to me in a day, I am single. That has always been my mantra, and I stand by it. What would you be doing in a whole day that you don't speak to me? Unless you are a spy and you're working in one of those countries where it is unsafe for you to reach out to me, there's no reason for you to not speak to me in a day, multiple times a day. Now, I'm busy, so I don't need you to be on the phone to me every single minute, but to not talk to me at all in a day and think that we're still together, it's a no from me. And so I definitely agree with Super when she says you need to tell people what you need before you move forward in a relationship. I agree. I think even if you're abstinent in a relationship, I think there comes a time in the relationship where if you're moving forward to, like, let's say, is abstinent until marriage or whatever, still have the conversation at a later point, maybe closer towards the marriage, where you're like, okay, what are your expectations? Hash that out in counseling, whatever it is, that hash it out. Don't enter into a relationship without knowing what the expectation is of the other person. Some people, you're not going to be out here cooking for this man 5 days a week, but this man wants a wife that will be cooking for him every single day. He wants fresh meals every day. You have no business dating a man like that, knowing fully well that you can't provide that, and he has no business dating you either. Which is why I'm like, set out your expectations, set out your standards, set out your non-negotiables before you get into the relationship. It saves us all this. Like, we've had almost 2 hours talking about this Maurice business. It would have saved us that trouble, would have saved you the stress of having to deal with that in the relationship.
Why did you marry me then?
So why did you marry me then? Oh my gosh.
Oh, because I liked that you were building and doing stuff.
But
is that a good reason to marry somebody? Because I like that you were building and doing stuff. That is so funny. That is low-key petty, because there's no reason. Like, there's no reason you're going to say that's why you married your husband.
I wasn't building and doing stuff when you married me, though.
This man said I wasn't building and doing stuff when you married me, though. So what was he doing? Oh my God. What was he doing when they married, though? What was he doing when they married? Because it sounds like he's saying, I wasn't doing stuff when we married. So what is that? Also, I know that there were some comments left at the top that I did not read initially. Let me go back and pick those up. Bajan says she stalked him on Facebook saying he was looking for a barber. She knew he was married. Didn't give a flying fig about Kiowa. She was nasty and disgusting to Mel, calling her bougie. To be honest, I agree with everything you have said. I think that's why it's important to leave those men where they are. Don't be out here going and running and chasing down a man. And then after chasing down a man, this is the man that you get. It's like, imagine going, sorting him, seeking him out, finding him, pursuing him. And then now you're upset that he doesn't take you on dates. How is he going to take you on dates? He thinks he's the prize. He did not have to do anything to get you. You were the one, from what it sounds like, you were the one chasing him down.
I'm not mad, Maurice. You've grown, and you've grown into the attorney soft hand era.
He said you've grown. Every time I hear the soft hand era, it cracks me up. He said you've grown into the Marie soft hand era.
I'm okay with it.
He looks pressed about the soft hands thing. He looks pressed about it. Oh my gosh. Nah, I can't lie. It was low-key funny for me with the soft hand era thing. I don't know why that makes me laugh. I think it's because I'm like, yeah, Maurice is always the one running amok. It's nice for someone to say something. It's nice for Kimmi to get some things into it.
Soft hand era.
But
wow.
With the soft hand era, change in you comes a change in me. And we just have to figure out the meet in the middle. Literally.
Look at his facial expression. He's giving press like a panini. That man was pissed.
That's all that is. But we can't keep having the conversation that I'm the only one that changed.
Now that's a word. That is a word, because every season it's never really about him. It's always Kimmi, more sex, more. I keep saying the word. I hope YouTube ain't gonna flag this video because I done said the word so many times. More sex, more sex. That seems to be the running theme. And it's like, how much more, sir? What is going on? And I bet she probably regrets the day she went to go and chase him down. She should have left him in that barber shop by himself and left him in peace. I bet Kiowa is relieved wherever she is.
Won't keep doing, because that gets us nowhere.
This conversation is circular. I think we're at an impasse because we're on a circular.
Why do you think it's circular, though? Because there's stuff that was a turn on for me, things that brought me into the relationship that you are staunch about not doing. And therefore, it has made changes in me as well.
That is a fed up woman. And he's just there. He's over there. If he's not drinking his drink, he's eating his food. That man is trying to eat his food. He can't even like focus eye contact on you whilst you're saying something serious. Ridiculous. Patton says then she thought she was going to get over on Mel about the name change. She lied about lipstick gate. Sorry, I have no empathy for her, sis. I do not blame you. I feel like she's definitely done a lot of things. And so it is easy to just be like, yeah, nah, I am not having no I'm not feeling no sorry for him. Super says she attacked his manhood. I don't know, soft hand era. I feel like if she said he was a soft man, then I'll be like, okay, she attacked his manhood. I think soft hand era sort of means like he's no longer building stuff and he seems like he just wants to be a lawyer, which, there ain't nothing wrong with being a lawyer, but I guess if you met this man over there building stuff and all of a sudden now he doesn't want to help around the house, he doesn't want to build nothing, then it can feel a little bit like, who did I marry? So, but I don't think like that's necessarily directly affecting his manhood.
Which make it difficult for you to get all the things that you want.
See,
you don't think that there's no middle? Honestly?
I think that, no, I don't believe there's a middle.
Really?
That's what I mean. He's so selfish that he cannot see that there is another side of it. He cannot understand that there is a need for compromise. He cannot understand that, like, there is a middle point. It's like, there is a middle point. There should always be a middle point. You're not willing to move on anything. That's a problem, sir. It's like there has to be something that you're also feeling okay to move on, something you don't feel as strongly about. But no, he's like, nah, there's no movement for him. And you can tell that he's definitely at this point back into like, I'm going to dish it back. And that's why he's going to allude to the divorce thing that he definitely alludes to now. He didn't fully say the word, but kind of alludes to that.
No, I don't.
Kimmi, you married a child.
That's why we're at an impasse.
So then why go to the therapist? Why waste money?
Sis, that is the question of the day. Why waste money? Pageant says, doing what he did to his ex-wife, I would ask him if he got if he ain't got hand. Yeah, honestly, I feel like yeah. Kimmi married a child. There's nothing anyone can tell me. Kimmi married a child. That man, I keep wanting to say that boy, but that man is a child. The way he moves, very, very immature. How can you say that there is no movement? There is no movement.
This is frustrating, to be honest with you.
It's frustrating to me too.
First of all, Kimmi.
Super says, I wonder if she told him when he decided to no longer build things and become a lawyer that she no longer would be attracted to him. I don't think she said it in those words, but I do remember in previous seasons she has said to him that she misses when he used to build things around the house. Like that used to be a turn on for her. And now he doesn't even want to build anything in the house. She has mentioned that slightly over the years. I remember something along those lines. If you guys remember, please put it in the chat. But I do remember in the past she has made comments about him building stuff around the house. And that he doesn't want to pick up or do any, no longer build things. And she used to love that. So she has said stuff like that in the past. But she has never said it as direct as this. It has never been as direct as this. This is the first time we're having it be this direct.
I'd have never misled you into thinking that this is what it was. Whatever made you think I was that was misleading.
This must have been a long conversation because if you look at the background also, it's looking like it's getting darker. So they must have been talking about this for a while. It must have been a long scene. And that would explain why it looks like both of them on both sides look kind of like just, I guess, frustrated.
I definitely have changed. And it looks like we're gonna.
Look at Kimmy's face. Kimmy, it looks like we're gonna. It was definitely giving like he wanted to use the D word. And this makes me feel like he feels like he knows the only way he would get to her is by mentioning the D word. And I think that's exactly what he did by almost not necessarily mentioning it, but trying to allude to it.
We're gonna what?
I don't know.
We're gonna what?
And I'm not gonna speak negativity over our lives.
Why would you?
Exactly. But look at his face. He had that smirk on his face, like, I've achieved my goal. That is what it's given to me. Now, you lot may think I'm being hard on Maurice. And if you think I'm being hard on Maurice, let me know in the chat. But I personally don't think I'm being hard. I don't even think I'm hard enough on him right now. But I definitely think that smirk on his face.
Would you?
I'm not. That's why I said I'm not gonna do it.
That smirk on his face, look at his eyes. That smirk on his face is definitely giving a little bit of a.
Would you even think it?
Because I think it.
Wow. Why would you even think it? He said, because I think it. He's basically saying, dude, if you do not have enough of this, I am going to leave you. Kimmi, I don't know how to break it to you, but this relationship is one-sided, my sister. Let me bring out the Nigerian in me. This relationship, my sister, is one-sided. Don't waste your time. Never ever let a man tell you more than once that they don't want you. This man has told you in different ways that he wants you only on his terms. Unless you're ready to do what he wants you to do, that is it.
Think what? You said before we even went to therapy, you want me to be happy even if we're not together.
Who says that? That is a man that wants to be set free. Who says I want you to be happy even if we're not together? When a man tells you that, that's because they don't want to be with you. They want to give you, it's not you, it's me. I just need to work on myself. I just need a little bit of time alone. If that's what it's given. It's not you, it's me. It's BS. It's complete BS. That man does not want you. That man is telling you, leave me. I want to be set me free. In the words of Mr. Dr. Gregory, set me free. That is what it is given.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that what this comment you don't want to spill out is about?
So producer said you got to be clear, Maurice. Exactly. It's like, what are you saying? What are you saying? Imagine the producers even having to come and get involved. because you don't know how to conduct yourself, sir. What are we doing?
I'm not gonna say it.
Well, you shouldn't have said it then.
Exactly. It's like, why bring it up if you're not going to say it? Look at her eyes. She definitely looks distraught.
You ready to go?
Absolutely bizarre. It is so sad. I know some of y'all don't feel bad for Kimmi, but I do feel bad for Kimmi. I just feel like I don't like to see women hurt at all. I don't like to see people hurt at all. But in particular, even women, I don't like to see women being mistreated, especially by their partners who are meant to love, care, and adore them. And so I'm definitely very, very disappointed and sad for her. I hope that she's able to work through some of the things that made her feel like this is the kind of man that you chase. This is not the kind of man that you chase. Um, it isn't the kind of man that you chase down, you go and run after and try to date. That's not the kind of man. You chase after a solid man. Well, even I don't even think you should be chasing after a man, but if you wanted to chase after a man, you should chase after one that is solid, not one who was dilly daddling, even though he was married, allegedly, right? You want a man that is solid, can take care of business, home, can take care of business outside of the home, in the home, loves you, speaks to you properly, treats you well. That's the kind of man that you don't let go. Not the man that does not want to do nothing. You know? So no. Super says she knows exactly what he's saying. Yep, she definitely does know what he's saying. I think she knows that he's trying to bring up the D word without saying the D word. And but at the same time, she's just like, yeah, man, like you basically insinuated this. So what am I supposed to do? Super says Kimmi is not a girl's girl. She is not. She really is not a girl's girl. She absolutely is not. Like we know this from the whole Aryan Mel situation where she was asking about the side chick but not the wife. So yeah, she's not a girl's girl. She's not. And even the way she's always like, oh, I don't do a girls trip. Like, who says they don't do girls trip and is happy about that? And is making and kept saying that. Like, it's okay to know I've done girls trip, but the fact that she kept saying, oh yeah, I've never done a girls trip. Oh, I don't really want to do the girl. Like, girl, can we bring our man? Like, is it because you know your man needs it all the time and you want to be there to satisfy him? Is that's what it is? Because now I have to start looking at everything from that lens. But anyway, let's see the comments saying anything interesting before we call it a night. I'm starting to get tired. This is my first live back, so yeah, I'm starting to get tired. So we are going to round up in about 10 minutes, everybody. If you still haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button, everybody. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you very much, everyone. Okay, so let's read a few of these comments and then we will round up and then we'll check the poll and then we'll round up for the night. Maurice's ex-wife told you about Miss Kimmi. I don't feel sorry for her and she deserves whatever she is dealt with, having the affair to the lack on now. Okay. So what it sounds like is this person is with Bajan and Super. Sign the papers. Now, the fact that Maurice wants to have SDX several times a day lets me know he has no cases. What does that mean? He has no cases. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's a phrase that you all use in the US. Marceau told y'all Maurice is who y'all think Marceau is. Now that Mel left the show, everyone's marital issues are coming in full swing and karma is at their doorstep. Yep. I feel like finally we can see what is actually going on in their homes because before it was all about Mel. So now we can see that all their marriages are hanging by a thread. Yep, I seen the very moment she became fed up and let that truth out. Yep, I'm glad she let it out because she was always forming and pretending and acting like, no, he adores me. And, you know, he didn't really mean, I should bend over and take it or whatever he said. I don't think he said bend over and take it, but I love how she considers me and all of that and rolls over and takes it. I think that's what he said.
Wife tells husband he's not turning her on to include the reason why, but somehow husband gets upset and almost ready to throw in the towel because he doesn't want to meet in the middle. Crazy world. I'd ride home with him, pack me a bag, go stay at a nice hotel somewhere in the next city, turn my location off, and start hunting for a townhouse or a luxury apartment to rent and divorces. Yep. Also, now I know Martell wasn't lying. That is actually what it's given, because how can you want it that many times but you are faithful? Yeah, it's hard to believe. Girl, straighten up your spine. He just told you how it feels. Take a page from Mel's book and get active. Yep. Not gonna lie, Kimmy's ate him up. They actually not having it because he don't turn. Oh, I can't read this. It's clear he rather divorce than work on himself. Sorry, girl. Kimmi, call Mel, apologize, get the receipts, hire your lawyer, and take that man to the cleaners. Yep, but I don't think he has. I don't know what he has, to be fair, to know whether or not he can really be taken to the cleaners. Well, Kimmi definitely clocked, and I was worried, but she said enough. He has too much time on his hands, and this scene right here lets me know that the rumors of him cheating are true. He's not satisfied at home and he thinks the grass is greener. This is what this person said. Yeah, I think it makes it very hard to not believe the rumors. I'm gonna be honest. It makes it hard to not believe the rumors because you're just like, if you truly want it 3, 4 times or 3 times a day and your wife is not doing it 3 times a day, then what are you doing with the rest of the day? Are you going to go and get it from somewhere else? That's the question. Especially if you need it that much every single day. That begs the question. Pageant says she most probably freed up the goodies too soon. The thing is, she's just second lady. Yep, that's definitely what he's given. Like, it's kind of sad because it's like, yo, you probably knew this from an early time, but you probably thought he would grow out of it. Because sometimes, I don't know what it is about, sometimes women always feeling like men will grow out of certain behaviors. It's like, nah, this man has showed you that this is who he is. He's not going to grow out of it. I don't know what else you need to see to believe that he will not grow out of it. But yeah. Petulant child to throw her out divorce because he can't have sex 3 times a day. This is sick. Absolutely. Agree. There's so much more to life than sex all day. How about spending time on your child's activities? Running, doing something else for someone else. Yep. Going to the gym, maybe. Maybe she'll find you more attractive then. Like, do a little something. Like, sir. Okay, let me see. Let me check the poll and then we will round up the live. Thank you, everybody. So, 43 people voted. Thank you to every single person that voted. I'm going to also keep the poll on. I wonder if the poll will translate to the replay gang. If not, I will put a poll. I'll see if I can put a poll in the on the channel for the people that are not in the for the replay gang folk rather. So yeah, I'll try to do that. But thank you to everyone for voting. Let's see what the people are saying. So the question was, do you think sex 3 times a day every day is excessive? Now, for those who are going to be in the replay gang and who are listening to this, if I can't put a poll in, can you just let me know in the comments if you think sex 3 times a day is excessive? So 93 people said it is excessive. 7% said it is not. Okay. So I feel like the people that are in the 7% need to date each other and save the rest of us so we don't have to deal with that. Okay. But fine, I guess the 7% love what they love. And that is fine by me as long as I'm not involved. On that note, everybody, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, New Beam. Are you new to the channel? Because I don't think I've ever seen you sort of in our live chat until today. Thank you so much, Bajan. Thank you so much, Super. Those are our reoccurring members. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sugar Sin. Thank you, User, for joining. Thank you, Priscilla. Priscilla is one of the members of this channel. So thank you so much for always supporting the channel. Thank you for the subscription, sis. Key Baby. Thank you. Let me see. ABJ. Thank you to everybody. I may not be able to go through everybody that was in the live today, but thank you so much to everybody for joining and for engaging. I really, really appreciate you guys. There's also one thing I wanted to tell you guys is I have posted, so I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I did post some more. I had posted some videos where I broke down the whole Tisha bringing on Wanda to fight her battles. So I did a video on that where I went into a little bit more detail about that. And I also talked about Tisha basically admitting that Masood had threesomes in the past. So I also talked about that. And there's also some other videos on the channel. I talked about Quad's IVF. From Married to Medicine and a few other things on the channel. So please go over there and watch and engage, please. I really appreciate the support. User says no cases means no workload in his law firm. Oh, no cases as in law firm. Ah, duh. Thanks. Yeah, that's interesting. So I guess he's not busy enough. Because 3-4 times a week, if you're going to court every day, you do not have time for no 3-4 times a week. Because there's no way you're going to expect your wife to come over there and meet you at the courthouse so you can get some. So no. Super says goodbye. Yes, my lovely. Goodbye to you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm coming live tomorrow. I suspect maybe to talk about Potomac and Married to Medicine, or maybe one or the other, depending on if there's a lot of like news to talk about tomorrow. But I will be coming live tomorrow as well. So make sure you turn on your notifications for that. New Beam says, I am new. Oh, you are welcome, my lovely. Please subscribe as well. Thank you so much, everybody. Replay gang, please don't forget to like this video and don't forget to let us know what you think in the comment section. Thanks to everybody who was in the live. Thanks for liking. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for actually showing up to my first live back since my surgery. So I really appreciate you guys for turning up and making it fun for me. It felt a little bit like riding the bike. You know how sometimes you've been away for a while and you're sort of wondering, like, how is it going to feel being back? It actually has been great. I've enjoyed you guys. I've actually missed you guys. So it's been nice to kind of come back and enjoy you guys and have you guys tune in as well. On that note, I love you all and I am going to bed. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening and I'll see you guys tomorrow evening. But please don't forget, I also have a new video going live after this live. So make sure you watch that as well. And thank you, everybody.